All right. I'm going to be frank with you all. I know. I'm very talented today, apparently. Hopefully you all can hear me okay. I'm using my headphones as I do have company. I do have guests. They do know that I do this, so they are aware that I need at least 20 minutes. But I got halfway to work this morning and realized that I didn't do your reading. I didn't do your end of the week reading. And I'm like, well, shit. So here we are this evening. We're going to go ahead and see what wants to come through for you. I am very sorry. For those of you who, like it in the morning, I very much apologize. Usually I'm very on the ball. I don't know what happened this week. Well, okay, let me rephrase. I do know what happened this week, but it has nothing to do with you guys. It's been an interesting week, to say the least. I feel like I've been ran over by a freight train. I feel like there's a bunch of things coming at me, which, we handle with grace and gratitude, but it's been a struggle this week. So hopefully you guys are handling things a lot better than I am. So if you're having a hard week, let's all just take a deep breath. It is Friday. For those of you working through the weekend, hopefully things, go well, get better for you. But let's take a look. Let's see what wants to come through. As always, take what resonates, leave what does not. This could be for you. This could be, for somebody around you. Take it for what it is. But my spirit guides welcome your spirit guides. Your spirit guides are welcome here. Underneath, we have Fork in the Road. And I do have a piano right here. You are propped up on my piano. So I can essentially see you guys. I can see me. The camera's on this side instead of on this side today, which is really weird. But yeah, so the piano's not on, so you won't hear, any weird keys. But Fork in the Road, Serendipity. Ooh, that's kind of bright. I also have a light right here too. Serendipity. And Future Energy. We have time for a nap. I feel this. Without getting into the underneath quite yet, I feel like there are choices to be made. Some of us who have hit the ground running, that's okay. It's okay to hit the ground running. But I do feel as though that there will be a moment to catch your breath, a moment of pause. I'm going to slide these down so I can put the darker, the underside energy, not really darker energy, but it's a spectrum. It's a spectrum of energy. This gives me the not so shiny aspect of the energy. Now this feels like it's moving through mud. It still feels like it's moving through mud. Let's see where we're going with this, because I can guarantee you these are going to be where it's at. Underneath, we have the Explorer. Showing up, we have Strength. Let's see if I can get that in there for you. Strength. And then where we're going, we've got Manifest. So I do feel like we're in, a place of decision, really. It's decision. It's, figuring out what it is we want with a Fork in the Road and the Explorer. You really need to be exploring all your options. Make sure that the road that you choose is the road that you really want. Like I said, it is the year of the horse. We just got here. And so what that means is it's full steam ahead. And now I'm not saying you can't change your path while we're in motion. What I'm saying is that be mindful of the path you're on, or the paths that you are choosing. Some paths may lead you back around. Other paths may lead you somewhere where you didn't think you were going to go. But, okay, I'm also getting, with this time for a nap and manifest, some of you are pushing too hard. Some of you are manifesting too hard. And what I mean by that is you're not giving... Where'd that go? There you are. You're not giving the universe time to, you know, fully listen to you. It almost feels like kind of brute forcing your way through. And so I feel as though the universe is kind of telling you to take a breath, take a nap, sleep on it, sleep on it. I know that with the things that I am currently dealing with, I do need to sleep on it. I do. And so that's going to be, you know, my advice to you guys is to don't push so hard. You know, really work on your vibration, on getting yourself in alignment. And where does that come from? That comes from gratitude. That comes from meditation. That comes from, you know, not having those heavy things weigh you down. So just be mindful of your vibration as you move forward through this energy. Stop trying to brute force your way through it. I just saw the Ace of Swords. Please stop trying to brute force your way through it. Yeah. Star and the Cup. Heal it. Bring love into the situation. You know, it's always darkest before the dawn. You know, after a storm, we get a rainbow. You know, after heavy seas, it's really smooth sailing. And that's really the energy I'm getting. It's almost like I'm in this bubble right here. I feel this bubble of like this heavy energy, and then just on the other side of this is that light and that breath of fresh air, right? For some of you, you need to clean the energy of your house. That's coming from one of my spirit guides. I know it's kind of cold where I'm at, but, you know, open the window for a few minutes. Yes, I know it's cold, but you can always warm that area back up. But, you know, fresh air does help come in and clear out the stuck energy. Especially if you don't like using sage. I also find that that's a wonderful way to clear the energy. Cleansing and clearing, you know, forks in the road. Lots of changes. Lots of changes. Let's see where we're going. Underneath, we've got the Ten of Pentacles. Five of Swords. Ten of Pentacles, Five of Swords, Three of Swords. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles. It almost feels like, for some of you, you're moving away from a group collective. A group collective of abundance. It could be what your family wants versus what you want. It's kind of how I see it. You know, Ten of Pentacles to the Five of Swords. You know, they're walking, you know, he's being left behind. You may feel left behind in certain situations. Could have to do with money or an inheritance. That's for one of you. That's not for all of you. That's only for one of you. And then you have to go through this pain, Three of Swords. Before you come out on the other side is the Nine of Pentacles. Your self-worth is there. Your abundance is there. We're talking about that bubble. Talking about that bubble. It really feels like we're in the middle of that right now. Let's see what else the tarot has. Showing up as the Eight of Cups. With the Eight of Pentacles, more work to be done. The hurdle is the Wheel of Fortune. Guiding this energy is the Ten of Wands. Moving on. Grounding this energy is the Knight of Swords. Okay. Past energy, we've got Judgment. There's that fork in the road. This is giving me the other half of this. So after you make a decision, more work is going to need to be done. Where you're going is the Queen of Cups. More work is going to need to be done. Before I feel like the universe, like I said, with the manifesting thing, you know, some of you really need to cleanse and clear that energy. There's more work to be done, but not in the manifesting department, in the cleansing of your vibration, right? Abraham Hicks, you know, you have to be at that vibration in order to receive those blessings at that vibration. You can't be down here and expect the vibrations up here to meet you down here. You're going to get the stuff down here. We'll definitely take a look at that work. Motion cards, you got the Two of Wands, the Chariot. Okay, getting better. Tower. All right, what's the outcome? The Five of Pentacles. Okay, I've got a few things I want to look at. Okay. I do want to look at the motion cards, because, you know, that's the path forward. So, you know, I do see success coming in very quickly. Chariot Tower, you know, it's coming in very hot, right? But I feel like, you know, the way that we've kind of been doing things, or the way that we've kind of been handling things, is what's going to be destroyed. So before I go back to the work that needs done, clarify this Five of Pentacles for me, please. Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords. Eight of Wands. Three of Cups. And the Fool. There's a certain situation here, or something that you could be lying to yourself about, or somebody's lying to you. Could be one of your friends. Could be one of the family members, you know, that you're dealing with. And I'm sorry if this, and I've got cards everywhere. I've got cards on my lap, in front of me, up here on the piano, back here. But this really does feel like a new beginning has to happen. But again, you have to get through the thick of it first. This is rough. It's almost kind of like ass backwards energy. But then again, I'm not surprised. Because with the horse, you know, the year of the horse, you know, we've been shedding our skin and doing all of this. You know, the year of the horse is not like the year of the snake. And so it's kind of, we're going through that adjustment period is essentially what I'm getting at. Is we're going through that adjustment period of adjusting from, you know, shedding those outer layers to, you know, finally moving forward. And, you know, some people, I feel like, are holding on to the reins of that horse. Like, some people are holding on to the horse for dear life. And some people are riding on the back. And not, like, behind you, but, like, you know, in those old Western movies, or what was that one movie I just watched? Sleepy Hollow, where, or Van Helsing, like, they're grabbing onto the reins, but they're being pulled along by the horse. That's kind of what this feels like. Like, you're not on the horse, but you're being dragged by it, right? So be mindful of your place on the horse. Be mindful if there's anything else grabbing the horse, you know, as you are riding away. Because it's kind of what I feel like this is, and that's what I've been dealing with in my own personal life is, you know, old habits and, you know, certain things, you know, with my job, you know, they're implementing all of these changes, but at the same time, you know, not to get too deep into it, but I've heard this before. The people have heard this before. So it kind of feels like, you know, it's kind of the past repeating itself, and we're trying to move away from that, like that's the whole point. But it doesn't feel like that, at least not yet. So you could very well be in the same situation I am, where it doesn't feel like it yet. It doesn't feel like we're actually getting somewhere. The energy has to cleanse and clear. You know, again, manifesting, you have to be on that vibration. You know, there's a lot of certain aspects here that need to be tweaked, and that's where that work comes in. So show me this work. What is this work? Devil energy, fear, okay. Two of Pentacles, balance, Six of Swords, yeah, absolutely. Three of Wands, yeah, for some of us, it's putting, you know, the past in the past with this Three of Wands. For others of you, it's with this fear, you know, I've got this fear of nothing's really going to change for the better, right? For others of you, it's finding that balance, you know, manifestation. For others of you, it's just allowing yourself to move forward. It's allowing yourself to move forward from this and letting the past stay in the past. This is some rough waters. And you know what's funny is the only card I haven't touched on is this Knight of Swords. This is the only card I haven't touched on. That is, you know, truth coming in. That is, you know, slicing through the bullshit. And that's a messenger. So I could be one of those messengers for you. I'm still going to clarify that, though, because not everybody, you know... I talk in a lot of different directions. Not everybody gets that clearly. Anyway, we got the Emperor. work, strength, Knight of Wands, okay, one more, Two of Cups. I'm getting several different pieces here. For others of you, it's about having the courage to do the work, to be inspired. For others of you, it is a balance, a union. What's underneath? Huh. Justice. I feel like in the middle of all of this, there is balance trying to happen. I do. I very much do. You know, and I feel like that's kind of why I'm here this evening instead of, you know, first thing in the morning, right? Because I feel like, you know, I needed to go through today in order to get to this energy, right? Newsflash. Even I don't have, you know, even I have my bad days. And it feels like this is kind of it. And you could be experiencing this like I have for about 2 days. You know, it's rough. It's rough to deal with this energy. But the universe loves a stubborn heart. It's all about that perseverance on, you know, moving beyond this energy. Being able to separate yourself from this energy. And really looking at it from an outsider's point of view. You know, you may not always have all the pieces. You know, I was saying that today too. You may not always have all of the pieces while you're smack dab in the center of these situations. And it's not until these situations are over or until you take a step back where you finally realize you're like, oh, okay, if I maybe, you know, would have taken a step back or, you know, really started to see this from a different point of view than the one that I was experiencing, I may have seen this sooner. And like I said, for some of you, that is that work, the Two of Pentacles. So there's quite a bit here. Quite a bit here. What else we have? Moon. Death. Absolutely. We're gonna keep on going. Moon, Death, Queen of Wands, Five of Wands. I saw that when I was shuffling. What else you got? And the High Priestess. I feel like our intuitions are trying to talk to us, right? Our intuitions are trying to talk to us. There's a transformation happening with our intuitions, with that emotional aspect of us. Again, going back to the manifestation part of this, you know, and it's interesting. Sorry, my intuition is talking to me quite a bit this evening, which is really bizarre. Usually it's first thing in the morning. I feel like, and what they're telling me is that the reason why I'm jumping from piece to piece to piece to piece to piece to piece is because, first off, everyone's going through something different. But second off, you know, if I really, you know, sat down, had an hour to piece all of this together, it actually fit together. But because you nor I have that time, unfortunately, sorry, you know, we don't have the time to piece all of this together. You know, maybe you, on the other side of the screen, on the other side of these headphones, who is listening to this, who is watching this, is like, you know what? Ollie may not see it, but I see it. Good. That's what I want. I want you guys to be able to experience this. You know, my readings are not for me. I'm going to tell you right now, this doesn't usually happen. Most of the times it's situations that I'm not aware of, that I'm just reading because, you know, that's what my spirit team has brought through. That's what your spirit guides have brought to me. You know, this doesn't usually happen. So it's very interesting to be in the thick of it and, you know, to not be able to put these puzzle pieces in order because it's not my job to really put these puzzle pieces in order. My job is to give you the message, right? Okay. But within this conflict, within all this drama, you know, these are the things that talk to me. Because here's the conflict, here's the drama. Queen of Wands, Five of Wands, right? Here is that drama. Surrounding this is the Moon and Death and the High Priestess. These are the two intuition cards, right? You know, this is your intuition going through a change. And that's what I feel like is happening. You know, my intuition is always going through changes. But this I feel like is something big, right? And in the middle of all of this is when the change will happen. It's happening now, right? I mean, it's Friday. You know, I'm reading this at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. It's Friday into Saturday. You know, this energy, I always channel, you know, what is happening right now, right? It's never a week in the future or whatever have you. That's not how I do things. So this energy I feel like is happening right now, and there's been nuggets of truth, nuggets of inspiration, nuggets of advice scattered throughout this entire reading, right? I mean, hell, even I've gotten nuggets of, you know, an understanding and inspiration and, you know, bits and pieces from this reading that, you know, I really needed. And so hopefully that does the same for you guys while I've talked through all of this. I mean, I've been going for what, 17 minutes, maybe longer? Today was supposed to happen the way it did. I don't fight it. I just go with the flow. And I've been trying to go with the flow. But right now it does feel like we're wading through mud. We're wading through mud, uphill, in the cold. But I promise that it's not always uphill. And it's not always cold outside either. Okay? So whatever nugget of advice you needed from this reading this evening, whatever nugget of advice you needed, I hope it helps. I do, I hope it helps. But we can't force this process. We have to go through this process. Change, manifestation, you know, all of these things that I've mentioned this evening, it's a process. We have to go through it in order to, you know, come out on the other side. It's like a tunnel. You know, we saw the entrance, it was light, we walked inside of it, it got dark. And now we have to get through that tunnel to come out on the other side. We're in that tunnel. We could also, I want to say something else is happening with the planets right now. Saturn conjunct Pisces, the moon conjunct Pisces. Something's happening with Pisces, at least I think it's Pisces. Which I'm not surprised. I mean, we pulled Pisces card. I want to say it's Pisces, and I want to say it's Saturn. But again, don't quote me on it. I haven't looked into it, haven't had time. I'll look into it. I'll have the answers by next week. But right now, I only have nuggets of truth and inspiration for you. But right now it feels like we're going through a wormhole. We are going through eclipse season right now too. That could also be why people are going up the wall around the moon a few times. You know, shit's been weird. I want you to know that you're not alone. You're not alone. Zodiac signs that I see. I got a lot here, so bear with me. I'm going to pick these up. Actually, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to pick these up. That way I can go through them. Because I have cards everywhere. Everywhere. I'm going to go through and pull them all. So we have Libra, Leo, Aries, Scorpio, Gemini, Aries, Cancer, fixed signs Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Sag, Scorpio, Pisces, Capricorn. That's a lot of major arcana for just one reading. That's a lot. Capricorn, Pisces, Scorpio, Sag, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, Cancer, Aries, Gemini, Scorpio, Aries, Leo, and Libra. This is what I see. So, thank you guys very much for joining me. As always, your company is well appreciated, as well as your spirit guides are. You are always welcome in this space. There's never a moment of judgment at all. So if you just need a moment, a calm moment, to just sit here with somebody, this is that moment. But thank you guys for being here this evening. Thank you for your patience. We'll get through this. But until then, I will see you all later. Bye for now.